Imagine being a teenager with big dreams, believing that your life was finally about to change for the better. Someone powerful notices you. They promise opportunity, stability, and a future that seems impossible to refuse. At first, everything appears normal. The homes are luxurious. The people around you are influential. The lifestyle looks glamorous from the outside. But slowly, almost without realizing it, your world begins to shrink. Your choices become limited. Your freedom starts disappearing. And before you know it, you're trapped inside a system controlled by one of the most infamous men in modern history. That is a disturbing picture now being painted by Sarah Kellen, a woman who spent years inside Jeffrey Epstein's inner circle and is now breaking her silence in a way that has shocked people around the world. For years, Sarah Kellen's name has been linked to Epstein's empire. Many people viewed her as one of his closest associates, someone who allegedly held influence within his operation. Because of that reputation, she became a controversial figure whenever discussions about Epstein surfaced. But now, Kellen is telling a very different story. According to her, she was not a powerful insider living a life of privilege. Instead, she claimed she was another victim caught in a web of manipulation, control, and fear that lasted for more than a decade. Her recent testimony has reignited one of the biggest debates surrounding the Epstein case. Where's the line between participant and victim when someone spends years under the influence of a powerful predator? According to Kellen, her relationship with Epstein began when she was still very young. Like many others who entered his world, she says she was gradually drawn into an environment that seemed exciting and full of opportunity. But what appeared attractive on the surface allegedly concealed something much darker underneath. She claims Epstein had an extraordinary ability to manipulate people, making them dependent on him emotionally, financially, and psychologically. Over time, she says, the ability to make independent decisions slowly disappeared. What outsiders saw as loyalty, she now describes as survival. The most shocking part of her account is how she describes her role. Kellen has referred to herself as an indentured slave, a phrase that immediately grabbed headlines around the world. It is a powerful and controversial description. She claims that despite appearances, she had little control over her own life. According to her testimony, Epstein controlled where she lived, how she worked, and many of the relationships she maintained. She says that fear became a constant companion. Fear of losing everything. Fear of retaliation. Fear of what might happen if she challenged the man at the center of it all. As details of her story emerged, many people found themselves asking difficult questions. How can someone remain in that environment for so many years? Why didn't they leave? Why didn't they speak out sooner? These questions often arise in cases involving manipulation and abuse. Experts frequently point out that coercive control is rarely as simple as locking someone in a room. Instead, it can involve psychological tactics that slowly erode a person's confidence and independence until they no longer believe escape is possible. Victims can become isolated, dependent, and convinced that they have nowhere else to go. Kellen's supporters argue that this is exactly what happened to her, but not everyone is convinced. Critics continue to question her claims and point to her long association with Epstein. They argue that people who spent years within his organization must answer difficult questions about what they knew and what role they may have played. For some observers, Kellen's testimony raises as many questions as it answers. Was she truly another victim of Epstein's manipulation? Or does her position within his world require greater accountability? The debate remains deeply divisive and emotional. What makes this story even more fascinating is that it highlights just how complex the Epstein scandal continues to be, even years after his death. Most people are familiar with the headlines surrounding Epstein, his powerful connections, and the criminal allegations that led to his downfall. Yet despite countless investigations, documentaries, and court proceedings, many aspects of the story remain clouded in mystery. Every new witness, every new testimony, and every new revelation seems to add another layer to an already complicated puzzle. Kellen's appearance before lawmakers has once again brought public attention back to Epstein's network and the people who surrounded him. According to reports, she provided information about individuals who may possess further knowledge about events that occurred within Epstein's circle. Whether those details lead to new investigations remains to be seen, but they have certainly renewed interest in a case that many believed had already revealed its biggest secrets. One of the most unsettling aspects of stories like this is how they challenge our assumptions about power and control. From the outside, People often imagine that those closest to powerful figures are themselves powerful. They assume access equals influence. They assume proximity equals freedom. But Kellen's account suggests a different possibility. She claims that being close to Epstein did not make her powerful. According to her, it made her more vulnerable. The closer she became to the center of his world, the harder it became to leave it. As the public processes her testimony, emotions remain divided. Some see a woman finally finding the courage to speak about years of manipulation and abuse. Others see someone attempting to rewrite a controversial chapter of history. The truth may ultimately be more complicated than either side expects. Human behavior, especially in environments shaped by fear and control, is rarely black and white.